Like a moth to a flame, it pulls us in. Next thing we know, we're in a now bear's den. Tomorrow, I know it all begins again. But where we're needed, we will go. And I'll roll the dice. Haven't you heard? The heroes have returned. Haven't you heard? The heroes have returned.
Hello, everyone. I'm Adam with Demiplane, and thank you for joining us for another session of Heroes of the Plains. We're going to try to get into the action as quickly as we can because we left on quite the cliffhanger last time. And, Briv is not worried. Adam might be just a little bit worried. So we're going to see how this goes. But I want to shout out some of our stream sponsors here tonight. First of all, we have Idle Champions. And if I do this right, let's see. Am I going to get it right? Like the code is like over here somewhere, or no, wrong way, always the wrong way. It's over here somewhere. So you can grab a chest code there. Thank you, Idle Champions, for providing those each week. We also have Talon and Claw. And so Talon and Claw puts together some incredible dice vaults and other types of very fancy, wooden products for your tabletop games. And we are going to have a giveaway here tonight. So keep an eye on chat, but we will be putting up a tweet momentarily, if it's not there already, where you can go and follow the instructions in the tweet, and it will enter you to win a really, really nice, I think tonight's is walnut wood, I believe. I might be wrong there, but I think it's walnut. But you can win that here tonight if you enter that. So go to our Twitter account and see all those instructions there. And finally, we have sound, and you're going to hear Sirenscape throughout tonight as our producer is doing some DJing for us. So thank you to all of those sponsors, and I'm going to turn it over as quickly as I can to Todd Kenreck to get us into the action. Oh, and by the way, this is going to happen potentially tonight because we've already heard from Jen that there are some strong winds going on and some possible internet issues. So we're going to get that fixed. We're going to do it live. We're going to fix it as quickly as we can as she returns, and we're going to jump right into the action. Todd, take it away.
Briv always has some serious wind action if you have problems, if you know what I mean.
That's why it's so bad to stand behind him.
'Twas not me this time, at least.
And yet he insists on running in. It's what he's learning from Flo. It's absolutely unappealing.
Now
Flo
you see
is
what
my
those
best
boots of
friend.
speed.
I love you, Flo, but honestly.
You all gonna die. So previously on Heroes of the Plains, a malfunctioning cubic gate was opened by the simulacrum of Averin, transporting you all from all over the D&D multiverse to one location. This did result, however, in the destruction of a very beloved and ancient inn that was basically severed from the very center and placed on the mountainside.
I didn't know it was beloved. Like, that probably would have changed my feelings a little bit about it.
Well,
I
now
thought it was
you
just a hole in the wall.
Briv would only go to the most beloved, wonderful of places, right? So
Sure.
it
very
makes
very
sense
much
to
a
me.
Scottish tavern of just like, ooh, boy, people have been dropping whiskey in there for a long time. Just has that kind of smell to it. So that's on the side of a mountain. Lava fell as well, catching it on fire. A purple worm drove through the actual bar area as well. Two purple worms. One was actually Penelope Half-Pint being chased by a larger purple worm, and then she tossed a baby purple worm. A purple worm action going on. Tossed the baby purple worm like a football back into the portal, and everyone was safe and happy. Immediately upon seeing Averin the Simulacrum, Freely decided to shoot him right in the stomach. So that happened. Accidents happen. Sometimes they're not
Last
accidents.
first, ask questions.
No, and it was
Never.
not an accident, like by any, like I very much meant to do it. I just didn't think it was gonna hurt him that bad.
It became very apparent from the simulacrum Averin that there was a new threat emerging, that Storm Herald, your old home, your flying castle that has taken you on many adventures, had returned. And previously you had thought it was in Avernus, but something and someone had reconstructed it. And there were rumors of a flying city moving from town to town, grabbing villagers for unknown terrible purposes. You were teleported with a cubic gate that did work up onto Storm Herald when you discovered many dead bodies of mind flayers and a strange, creepy voice telepathically speaking to Briv. Frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's how Briv would think. Like, telekinetically, just tap, tap, tap on your head like Morse code.
Nothing wrong with it.
Flo had to correct him many times in their training.
No, that is how it works. Like that is objectively true. Yeah.
That is the wrong mental muscle. You made contact with an alien intelligence, and that's when all of these limping intellect devours, these brains partially rotted, claws, nails broken, started clambering up the stairwell of Storm Herald, while others were actually climbing down a tower right in front of you. And then these mind flayers started to rise with glowing red eyes and salivating fangs. And that's where we are right now. What is everyone doing?
Do we have initiative, or do we need to?
We
give it
do have initiative. So
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and jump in that. I was hoping for just pure panic from everyone. Just as
I mean, if you're
no.
giving us
last week.
No,
if you're
we're
giving
doing
us a
last
free action, I will take a free action.
No,
Panic is a free action.
you guys relax. Briv, Orkira, and I, we got this. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Hey!
Easy peasy.
I do believe I would like to panic as a free action.
My panicking involves a lot of explosive content, so.
No, literally all our training has led to this. It's gonna be fine.
Well, that brings us right. We went ahead and rolled initiative ahead of time for you, the viewer, for the convenience of you at home. And Penelope Half-Pint with a 25 is going first. Penelope Half-Pint, what are you doing? You are surrounded by brains with claws and tendrils sticking out of them. All of them rotted, all of them dead.
Man, it's good to be back. And she's gonna spin her staff of the woodlands and stab it into the ground and just erupt all of these vines as she casts entangle upon all of these creatures.
Okay. What does entangle do? What's the dexterity saving throw, I assume?
It's a strength.
Oh, no. That's not fair. So what does your entangle look like here?
It's like vines with thorns on them and little pink flowers.
Adorable death.
Deadly but cute.
You see as this is happening, one of the intellect devours, two of the intellect devours pop out like frogs, immediately evading the brambles, but they completely grow around all of the other intellect devourers that are around you, these rotting husks, and just thorny brambles just grab all of them as they try to leap towards you at that exact moment. They're wriggling, so now you're surrounded by just basically vines connected to brains and claws. That's what's around you right now. Let's see, who's up next?
A bunch of us go on 19.
A bunch of you all going at the same time. I'm gonna do it in alphabetically. Like, Alyndra, what are you doing?
I would like to cast a storm sphere. So, I point to into the space where I see the greatest concentration of the creatures who are not entangled by Penelope's spell. Actually, no, I will get the ones that are in Penelope's spell. They need to make another strength saving throw. The area becomes difficult terrain. And then I would like to use my bonus action to cause a bolt of lightning to leap from the center of the sphere to the one that seems the most threatening. And I would like to make an attack there.
The most threatening is definitely a mind flare, which did get caught in it.
Excellent.
And the storm sphere erupts. And how does it restrain them? Like, how does it make it difficult for them?
It's the whirling winds of it.
Okay, so
the cloud
wind is now
gathers and-
swirling around all of you. And these
Indeed.
brambles, which are now moving, but that have some leaves, I imagine, Penelope Half-Pint as well. And now there's this vortex surrounding both Penelope Half-Pint and Alyndra. And now lightning shoots out. And you want to go for which?
The most threatening, so that mind flare.
Okay.
And
you
I
have
get to make
an
that
attack.
roll with advantage because of the restraint.
Okay.
Oh yes, this will work nicely.
Go
So
ahead.
first of all of the creatures who are restrained need to take some damage there. They take 2d6 bludgeoning damage.
Immediately? Okay,
As soon
go
as
and
it
roll that.
appears. So that's 8 damage if they did not succeed on the strength save. And then the other one will hit, and then it's 4d6 lightning from a bolt of lightning that jumps out, striking directly at that mind flare. So 4d6.
Very,
All right,
very frightening.
lightning burns right into its chest, and you hear it just scream and holler, and you can see a little bit of its ribcage burn away at that moment. You do notice as you hit it with lightning, and as it kind of like outlines its frame, it has physically changed in some way. The way that the lightning even moved around its flesh. This is not the first time you've moved the spell. It is under some kind, is not only undead, but it has been deeply physically changed
So
on
it's going
almost
to
a
take
molecular level.
that 11 damage from the lightning.
Okay.
Can I tell anything about the way in which it has changed?
Not at this moment.
All
No.
right. I'd like Griff to support. I suppose Briv. Give Briv advantage on his next direct attack. Griff will help by distracting.
Okay. You are aided by the your familiar owl Griff goes to Briv's aid with extreme judgment.
Always. Always.
And now we are on who's the next 19 here?
I believe it's Freely.
Freely.
So are any of the mind flayers currently entangled?
Yes, one is.
I just point at that one and I'm like, Briv, watch what I can do now. I'm gonna hit that one with Hex.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna lay into him with the green flame blade. Let's see, because green flame blade is a cantrip.
That is true.
Does 15 hit him?
It's 16.
You know what? I'm good. Hang on. Let me check one thing here. Let me check one thing real quick. Because I got
know what
options.
you're looking for.
You're looking for the +1 somewhere?
Yeah, that lovely
I'm
cut words.
activating my favorite by the gods because I'm not about to tell Briv, watch me do this and then not do this.
Activating pride.
Yep. So I push it up to 18 with the. I'm like,
He's activating his "Don't embarrass me now."
Yeah. No, not in public. Yeah. Like, no, I haven't seen him in like a year. Like, can't miss now.
Yeah, you're clearly about to miss as this actually restrained undead mind flayer is like definitely moving away, and then you're just like you just see your sword kind of hum and like just push.
Yep. I'm lucky. Also, I'm gonna drop a level 3 smite on him. Since he's undead, we get our bonus die. He is undead, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, I had to go get extra dice. That's why you saw me getting up. Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to put 14, 20, 24, 29, 31, 36, 37, 42 points of damage on him.
It takes 42 points of damage. Where did you want to strike it?
Considering I almost missed wherever I can get him. Like, I don't care if, like, literally, like, my sword erupts into green flames. And
his
if I just, like,
pinky toe.
catch him on the pinky,
You're clearly missing, and you just dive it right into the toe of the mind flayer, which you notice at this moment is strange that it's not levitating at all. and
Mhm.
you sever it's a little baby toe completely,
For
but
the
it is
record,
bleeding a lot.
for the record, I hex it's on strength checks, by the way.
Thank you.
Yep. All right.
Perfect.
That's it for me.
Okay, and now we are on the next 19 since we're just 19 friendly. Who is
no more 19s.
No more
There's
19s.
15, who is me.
16? What you doing?
I am taking a side eye to find where Widdle is. Oh, good. She's far enough away. All right. I'm over here.
Yeah, for a point of clarification, you saw this mind flayer rise up very near Widdle, and then it wasn't teleportation, but in a flash, you just saw Widdle move around Orkira to kind of the back and close 100 feet in virtually no time, enough to create wind around all of you at that time.
It
All right.
was not me
Kind
this
of.
time.
No, that was good wind. That was good wind.
mean-
Widdle just blew into everyone's hair as she ran by them.
I wish I had hair in this moment. There's still mind flayers.
So do I.
I know. Both Orkira and Lauren kind of wish the same thing. There's still mind flayers, dead weird mind flayers, or are they destroyed?
Wait. What's destroyed?
What's left? Is there
nothing's
still...
dead.
Oh, okay.
So
I will
Nothing's
move.
dead to
all
begin
left.
with.
I will
Yeah.
move so that I am within 30 feet of as many of these awful undead as possible, and yet still at least 31 feet away from Widdle. I'm going to hold up my book, and I'm going to go, nope, and I am going to turn undead. So any undead within 30 feet of me that can hear or see me must make a wisdom saving throw, DC 17, I believe. Or 18.
Ooh.
My DC
Yep.
is 18. If they fail and they are a CR2 or lower, they go goodbye.
That is correct.
And if they fail in their CR, or if they're a higher CR but they fail, they have to spend their entire turn for the next minute running away from me. They can't do anything else.
At this moment, the ones that are closest to you, which are a little smaller, the brains themselves are actually smaller, and they're almost like scouts. You're starting to get some weird structure as to these intellect devours. Some of them are tiny, and some of them are bulky and bigger than brains probably should be. And the ones that were smaller, that had come up to you initially, just poof. And what happens for you when you do turn undead? What does it look like?
I hold up my book and it glows red, and then little, what looks like fireflies come flying out of it, and they're like homing darts that just popping balloons as all of these intellect devourers just explode into showers of sparks. And then anything that doesn't explode suddenly really wants to run away from this tiny little red firefly.
Multiple of these undead intellect devourers are turning around, trying to desperately, like a cat stuck in a box, trying to get through the brambles and the wind itself, and they are having trouble escaping. They are doing their best to get out of your way as they feel the presence of your primordial god, the Phoenix. They're not overly fond of fire in the first place, so they are trying their best to remove themselves from the situation, which they thought they had the upper hand, but many of them are stuck. However, some of them on top of the tower that have been crawling down have just noped and are moving back up, and now there are intellect devourers climbing up a tower and then down a tower, and they're like wondering, hey, this is the wrong way on the escalator, guys. What's going on? So that's what's happening there. Is that your action?
So that's my action. The mind flayers, did any of them fail?
None of them failed.
All right, so as my bonus action, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon, and my little spiritual phoenix is going to appear next to the one that Freely is fighting. And because Spiritual Weapon is awesome and clerics are the best, I get to also attack it. That
Go
is
ahead.
a 21 to hit.
That hits. You need a 16 to hit.
All right, that's going to be 12 force damage. And I got your back, Freely.
All right.
Thank you.
This miniature phoenix just kind of erupts and slams again right into the same mind flare that has been hit by a lightning bolt by Alyndra, has been smoted by Freely, and now is struck by the phoenix at the same time. Who is up next? I believe Widdle? Or is it Briv? I believe it's Briv.
Briv.
Okay, so real quick, we got 3 mind flare undead of some sort. Still, one of them's near Freely with the spiritual weapon on it, and then the other 2, are they close by or are they spread out?
They're close enough, but they're not within melee range, unless you close the gap.
Gotcha. Okay, but they're close to each other.
Yes,
Is that correct?
that's
okay.
correct.
I am going to just rush, just springing, like you literally see little springs of metal like coming out, and I move the the distance and close it, and then I am going to just like turn my sword and then stick it into the ground, and then I'm going to throw my arms back, and Netherese explosion shards of metal go out. I'm positioning myself in a way that I'm not hitting Freely, and trying to hit all 3 of the mind flares.
Okay, and does anyone's control effects affect Briv in his attempts to move in any way?
It's difficult terrain.
Yep, for me too.
Okay, so your movement is halved, but that's not going to affect this.
It's still 20. Yeah. Okay. So, all right, I'm going to get there, do that, and it's going to be a dexterity saving throw of 16 for the mind flayers, and they're going to take 66 damage if they fail, and half of that if they succeed.
Are any of them entangled, or are those ones that made it out?
One of them is entangled, so they have.
That would be at disadvantage. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And how much damage is it? 2 of them saved.
25. So half of that is 12.
Okay, and then the one didn't save. That just gets shards of yourself just explode out of you and strike into it. And this mind flare is having a very bad day. So you just see the bits of metal, and do they pop back into you?
Yes, I pull them back in, and I grab my sword and just twist it, and I just like start smiling at big tusky grin at all of them and trying to get them to pay attention to me.
And this is like the metal in your very bones, right? It just kind of boils out and then just becomes shrapnel. And
then and then I pull it back in through my pores. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and use my. I had said I had used my reaction last time to form the metal. So what's going to happen is my armor class. I can't call the armor back to me until it is my turn again.
Yeah, that's correct. All right. And now we are at the mind flares. One of them rises up. The one that is like it's bleeding. It's definitely hurting. However, I need everyone who is in a 60-foot cone to make me an intelligence saving throw 15.
I'm gonna assume since I was right there laying into it, I'm in that cone.
Oh, you're just like, yeah, you're just
anybody within 10 feet of me gets a +4.
So Storm Sphere is I can cast Storm Sphere from 150 feet away, so I'm assuming I was further back then, most likely. Yeah, or are we all within?
I think you're within 60 feet of this. Yeah.
I would like to say that I have 0 to this save, but I got 16 on the die, so there you go. I am a very stalwart halfling.
Well, you would get +4 to that.
Now it's you're 30, 20.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I got
23 for me.
Wow.
I got
26 for me.
I got natural 20, which made me a 19. Which still saves. Also, yes, I get a portent, but more importantly,
all right. So did anyone fail?
I did.
Penelope. Penelope, you fall to the ground immediately, stunned. I need you take 22 points of damage.
Wait.
Psychic damage.
Oh no, I can't do that. Never mind. Sorry, I thought I could intervene. I cannot. Sorry.
Do I need to make a con save to keep my
you are
spell
not
up?
unconscious, actually. You just take the... no, you don't make a con save of any kind. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, you're stunned. Yeah, you are under the stunned condition, though, so you take 22 points of damage.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you see the blast kind of like wash over Penelope Half-Pint at this moment, and now it is Widdle's turn. What is Widdle doing?
Well, now I'm mad.
Now?
Hey, is
It's a
everyone
clean show
okay
now.
over there? How close are the mind
What's
flayers?
your definition of
everyone?
okay?
Yeah, no, before now, I was just having a good time.
Well, one of the mind flayers is right. You do see the other two are are keeping their distance only because of all the wind and the vines everywhere and everything, the whole mess that is happening in that area. But there is one mind flayer directly in front of Freely that's just blasted at him and Penelope Half-Pint, and there are dozens of these rotted intellect devourers all in the brambles. And a lot of them are scrambling to escape, but some of them are still on the attack at the same time. So the whole group is surrounded.
Okay, so Widdle is still covering her hiss from when Orkira cast Turn Undead. So she's like, and she's digging into her bag. And she's trying to grab some bat guano and sulfur to make it into the shape of a marshmallow. She's gonna put it on the end of the stick and cast Fireball.
Okay.
It's got a 150-foot range. It's got a 20-foot radius as well. So wherever there are the most mind flayers, that's where I would like to center it. And if the group is within that center, I'm going to sculpt spell to make sure nobody gets hurt by it.
Oh.
The mind flayers are within range of 20 feet of everybody else. So if you want to hit all the mind flayers, you have to hit everyone else as well. So tell me about
He's
sculpt
got-
spell. Like, how do you do this? What are you doing?
Widdle is just gonna click her heels, and you don't even really see her. She just runs towards each friend, Briv, and pushes him out of the way, and then she moves on to Freely, pushes Freely out of the way, and so on. And everyone just kind of looks up in a slightly different position, just out of the way of this beam of fire that rushes past their head, blowing the hair again, kind of singeing, if there's any ear hair, singeing a little bit of hair on the side of their face.
Oh, that's nice.
'Twas mine beard.
Sorry about that.
All right, go ahead and roll your damage. So yes, you see this giant fireball. I imagine there is some level of panic as you see a fireball targeted at you.
Nope. This is the best thing she's done all day.
This is fine.
And then you just see this zipping form of Widdle just like pushing fire away from your faces. And then moving you out of like certain explosion radiuses and then putting you back. Like all this
Little
weirdness.
intro.
And it might all be an illusion in your mind. You're not quite sure what you're seeing at this moment.
36 points of damage. And there's a dex save of 16.
Okay. Oh my god. I apologize for the multiple rolls. And then, okay, so everything with every intellect devourer in that radius explodes into flame and ash, except for one. There is one alpha. Just this big, mean, hulking, zombified intellect devourer as
Did they
flames
save?
erupt. Yes, they did save.
So
took
they would
half,
take
though.
half as much. So that would be 18.
Oh, that one's dead. Yeah.
One
Yeah,
Not
that one's dead
PG.
too.
round. One round is all it took.
The other undead mind flayer. Ooh. That mind flayer in front of Freely explodes as well. It just burns away to ash. The other two mind flayers, however, did save, and they are still fairly healthy, but definitely singed and shocked. Now those two are going to take their turn. One's going to mind blast again. I do need intelligence saving throws from the group.
Everybody again?
Yep.
What about me? I'm already
At the end
down.
of their turn, they needed to take damage if they stayed in the sphere.
Oh, okay. That's right. And what was that damage again? Go and roll.
It is
Thanks to Briv, I made
No,
it. It's like I was like, oh no, madness. No, wait, it's not madness. I'm fine. Huh? Never mind.
Sorry, they need to make the saving throw again, and then they'll take damage.
And
Rip.
my target
Strength.
is, yeah, got it.
Briv,
All right, one fails and one succeeds.
Okay, so that is 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Was that an intelligence saving throw?
Intelligence saving throw 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much was your aura for?
Plus 4. Briv rolled a 1 on the die
Yikes.
for a total of 6.
All right. Everyone who fails takes 22 points of damage and is stunned for 1 minute.
1 minute.
Yep.
What happened? Was it a spell? Was it a?
It's
Mind
Mind
blast.
Mind Flayer did the
Mind
Mind
Flayer.
Blast. We've seen them do this before.
Tis a
Yep.
mind blast.
No, it's rough because then they start trying to nibble your brains.
Okay, so Penelope's down, Briv is down. Who else?
I am
Thanks
not
to
down.
Briv,
I am
I'm
still
okay.
standing.
What was the target on it?
60. It's a 60-foot cone.
But what was the save?
Intelligence 15.
Okay, I'm good.
Thanks to Briv, I am good.
Yes, thank you so much, Briv.
Briv helped others, but he could not help himself.
No, you relax. We got this.
You need to learn how to put on your own oxygen bubble, your own breathing bubble, before you put on flows.
Exactly. They warned me. They warned me in all those little
Every
speeches
time
that
we
I
travel.
didn't listen to.
Every time.
You see all of these, and you hear them in your head at this moment. This.
He said shrimp. He said
That
shrimp.
is-
Did you hear that?
Several
One.
of us speak mind flayer.
That's
so
true.
we-
That is very rude, sir. That is very rude.
Cover that in
And you-
cinnamon.
The intellect devourers are terrified, both because of the turn undead, the giant maelstrom that is surrounding Alyndra, the brambles, everything else. The intellect devourers are now in preservation mode, even though they are undead. They are running to the sides and the outskirts of Storm Herald at this moment. So we are back to the big initiative. Who was the big one? That was 25. That is you. Oh, you're stunned.
Do
All
you
right.
get a?
Is there- does she
You
get to
don't get
save on
any
it?
save.
You're stuck, and then they eat
Oh
your brain.
man,
No, it
it's
sucks.
just the worst.
No, it's
Yeah.
awful. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. No.
Can
nothing
anyone
for you.
shake them out of it? Is that something that?
Yeah,
can
is there
happen?
anything we can do? I mean, we've all encountered this before, so do we know?
No,
what
you
to
do. You do save at the end of each of your turns, so you can make a save now. Yep.
Ah.
Yeah,
Do you
so you
still
can make
lose
an
at least-
intelligence
Yeah.
saving throw of 15.
You
Otherwise,
lose at least the
oof.
one turn, though. Yep.
Yeah.
22.
Oh yeah, you snap out of it.
Huzzah.
I mean, you're kind of like you hear everything happening. Like, oh wow, what has happened? There's a lot of brains, guys. So that's your turn. I hope you had fun. Bringing you that high level entertainment. And who is next in initiative? I'm using game log, so there are lots of
Alyndra.
numbers in there.
After Orkira, it's me.
Yeah,
So we have the one, and then we have the rest scattering.
yeah. Orkira, go and make your saving throw, and
I-
yeah, you still have the 2 mind flayers coming at you, but all of the intellect devourers are running for it.
I
know what?
saved, and I don't go for a little while. It's Alyndra's turn.
Yep. Okay.
I wonder if it's worth trying to see if I can still do this. And I start thinking about it, and I am gonna go ahead and give this a shot, and I will project my consciousness outward and cast a mind spike. See what happens. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do the bolt to try and knock out the mind flayer, the big one that I get to do, and then I will do that. So I send a bolt of lightning out. I get to make that attack
Okay.
here. Is it still in the sphere?
Yeah. And you notice these they're barely wearing clothes. They're hulking and muscular. Like they have 8-packs and giant massive shoulders and long claws. And as you are looking closer and closer at them, they seem to be infected by some kind of mutated version of vampirism.
I mean, if you're like into that, like whatever, you know.
Listen, this is just my
Vampirism.
yeah.
Somebody is juicing.
Do you even lift with those tentacles? Come on.
Doth thou even hoist?
You You should be trying that blood creatine. That's all the rage right now.
It's true.
Everyone keeps doing these shakes. I don't understand why you shake these things. It's ridiculous. It's
Well, you shake.
Well, I'm
actual
like-
You
justice
shake your
for once,
target, and then you
opioid.
drink it.
I don't. Wait, are we? We're not doing the. Oh, we're not. Okay, all right.
How dare you? How dare you?
Later,
Um,
buddy.
I will cast the bolt out of the storm sphere. It's a 15 to hit.
You strike into one of the vampiric mind flares. It sizzles a little bit of its forehead skin away from its forehead.
Okay.
You can see the bone beneath.
It does 14 damage.
Okay.
And then I will cast Mind Spike on, if the big one is still up, I guess that's the one we're going for. And I'm going to upcast that to 4th.
What's the saving throw?
It's going to be a Wisdom 16.
Yeah, this one's not so wise. So, yeah, you hit it with Mind Spike. Go and roll your damage.
Okay, so that ends up being plus 2d8. So it's going to be 5d8 of damage.
As she does so, a tremor moves through all of Storm Herald,
24 points of damage.
and her eyes go black. Alyndra, you find yourself in the void, surrounded by pure darkness. There is no light, there is no sound, and you feel like all of the life being drained out of you at this exact moment, and it is almost absolute zero. There is no warmth or comfort here. And you feel your very skin and being changed as perhaps even your soul is disintegrating at this exact moment.
Can I
And you
pull
hear
myself out of it?
screams. Yep, you pop right out of it.
I hear screams.
You hear screams, but screams for you. And you pop out of
Screams
it.
for me. Okay. Oh, well, that was bracing. All right. And I will have Griff do the
Are you
same
okay?
thing.
You okay?
I
What was
think
that?
so. It was the void. There was nothing there. I don't know what's controlling them. There's something screaming, but I don't know what or who. Or there was nothing.
All right, who's next? So Griff is going to be assisting Briv.
Yeah. So Briv will have advantage on the attack.
Okay, and Briv, you didn't get knocked out for a change.
Yeah, he's stunned. No, he got stunned.
Oh, he's stunned.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am
Who is
stunned.
not stunned?
Well, Freely's up and fighting.
I think
Okay, sure,
everybody
we'll-
else is okay except for Briv.
Okay, we'll
Yeah,
give it to Freely then.
All right, Freely, you're up next.
Are any of those mind flayers near the edge of the ship? You said they scattered. Are any of them near like the prow?
The intellect devourers are ran to the edge. The mind flayers are not running.
But I mean,
There's two mind flayers left, but they're not in. They're like their backs are against the tower that they are resting on.
right.
That they were dead. You know, like they were just dead in a lump. So
Which none of them are within roughly 5 to 13 feet of the edge of the ship, though.
no,
Okay.
not without some pushing.
All right. Well, we'll do this a different way then. Freely just like looks at Briv, and the second sword slides out of his wrist, and he's like, "Don't worry about it, buddy. I'm gonna get rid of this guy, and I'm gonna double smite him."
Ooh.
So, let's see. I think a 24 is enough to hit, and 18 is 18 enough to hit him.
24 and 18, yes.
Yeah. All right. So I'm
And
gonna
you're burning your pact magic, right?
No.
You do have with Eldritch Smite. You do if you're doing.
I don't have
What kind of
Eldritch-
smite are you doing? Sorry.
Paladin smite, baby. Just any
Paladin
attack.
Smite and what smite?
The 2 paladin smites. You can do that on any attack. It is not one round only. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wow. That's
Oh, yeah.
nuts.
Oh yeah.
Multi-classing.
Yep.
They're gonna fix that in 6th edition.
You know, but they haven't fixed it today. So
I guess for the first one is 5, 9, 11, 14, 20, 30.
oh, not just 30.
Oh, I got you. Perk attack. Now
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. That's 30. Sorry to get back to my weapon. 34 points of damage on the first hit.
Okay.
Is he still standing?
No.
Then I'm gonna hit the other one.
I need a detailed description of how he's not standing anymore.
Oh, you say like he's so big. Like I just tell Briv, like, don't worry, I got him. And then I just like run in and honestly, if there's two of them, I just go through the first one and I run between his legs and just cut him open as I go between his legs. And I'm going to use my defensive flourish on the second one because I'm not trying to get hit back after I do this to him.
Yeah.
So, that is
Just an FYI, Briv doesn't hear or see this.
But you'd be very proud of me if you did.
So the second one gets him for 7, 14, 18. Ooh, hard to math. 19, 23,
Can I interest you in a
31.
dice roller?
39.
44 points of damage, and my AC goes up by 5 off of my defensive flourish. 44,
right.
44 on the second one.
Yeah, you cut him from between the legs up to the skull, and he slowly splits open, and you get a very detailed examination of Mind Flayer anatomy at this moment.
Oh, if the first hit kills him, I hit the second Mind Flayer with my second. Okay, all
I'll
right,
allow
okay.
you to get to the second one with that
All right.
damage.
Well, yeah, well, I have a movement of 40, so I very much can be like, Gek, zoom, Gek.
Yeah. And again, what was that last damage?
Oh, I lost it already. What'd I say? 44?
I think it was like 40.
Oh, sorry,
44.
it's 47 because I didn't include the weapon, the plus the bonus. 47.
Yeah, you stab for 47, but just kind of dead eye stares at you, and as you like thrust your sword that's out of your mechanical clockwork hand, it just shoves itself further down the sword, trying to grapple you. With its tendrils.
You're not supposed to be into this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And that's it for me.
All right. And now we've got who's not stunned?
Me.
Or Kira.
Or Kira, you're up.
For once, I'm gonna run on over to Briv, and he is stunned, and Orkira's grumbling under her breath because she knows that she can't do anything because I woke up this morning and I was on vacation and I didn't prepare for mind flares, so I don't have the thing to prepare for mind flares. And she's for her bonus action, she'll move the spiritual weapon and attack the one that's left. But for her action, she's going to hold her action, and she's going to hold fire in her hands and keep an eye out for, those little brains on legs, or for the mind flayer to come, because she knows that round 1 is stun and round 2 is eat your brain. So she is going to hold her action to prevent that from happening. So if one of those little brains on legs gets within, I think she knows it's 30 feet. But
you're intimately familiar with having your brain squeezed out of your head.
She's super familiar. So if they get within jumping into your brain distance, or if this mind flayer gets close, she's going to attack it. For the spiritual weapon, I hit with a 16.
That's correct.
And that's going to only do 6 force damage as the phoenix has to fly on over and then does some scratching. And that is it.
The mind flayer is moving itself onto the blade that is connected to Freely, and maybe for a moment Freely is maybe this was a bad idea for this to be all connected, but the mind flayer is getting closer and closer, and its tendrils are just gently feathering the front of your face, and then bink, a little fiery phoenix just kind of pops it in the head for a second for a little bit of damage.
Little claw is just going after one of its tentacles.
It's gonna shoot cone.
I
need everyone to make an intelligence saving throw. 15.
Real quick, Todd, did I get to come?
You didn't get your saving throw. Go ahead and do your saving throw.
Yeah, I saved. I got a 22 on it just now.
Okay.
Oh, good. That means that we get your thing again, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Thank the universe.
But then I've got to save again, is what you're saying, because it's their turn. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Did Widdle get to try? Was Widdle stunned?
No.
Okay.
I just ran towards the group with my sculpt spell, so I think I am near them. So I did just make an intelligence saving throw as well. Did I need to?
I guess what I'm saying is in the initiative, Briv is there, and then Widdle is under Briv. I'm just trying to make sure. Did Widdle get the act?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
That is true.
Yeah, Widdle should do something before this happens. I think is what he's getting at.
Oh no, the mind flayer acted before Widdle last time.
Oh, okay, got it.
In the initiative, sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I got 16. What was the number we needed to beat?
15.
15.
Thank you, Briv. You got me through this twice, buddy. You got me through this twice.
Well, I failed. Just
Penelope and Briv are just like, we're up, we're down.
Yeah, your eyes unglaze for a second to look at me leaning over you trying to protect you, and then I just fall on top of you as I also fall.
Oh no!
I feel like this just turns into like a stop motion thing. That like Freely was over here, and then he's over there, but there's a dead mind flayer, and he's like, "Briv, I got him!" And I hear
slow motion.
This is where it all goes wrong.
And Freely is doing all this amazing, epic stuff, and nobody is seeing it.
Man, they're not even gonna believe me.
I'll believe you.
I need intelligence saving throws from Penelope and Briv.
Uh-oh.
Oh wait. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. I'm so sorry. Let me see. Do you want me to use that? I clicked an intelligence check instead of a save. Do you want me to use the roll I just had, or
Just use the roll you got? Yeah.
Okay, so it would be a 16.
Okay.
17.
Okay. You feel the presence of something trying to shove its. Yeah, God, you feel like a horrible headache, even though you're stunned. You feel something like trying desperately to push who you are in reality out. And Orkira is right next to you, but it's just not working. It's not happening. And now it's Widdle's turn. What is Widdle doing?
What's around me right now?
There is one mind flare left.
At the end of
And
its turn, it should have tried to make the save, and then.
Okay, what was the saving throw again? Sorry.
It was a save of strength 16.
Yeah, it totally failed that.
Okay, so it is going to take 1, 2, 3, 4. 11 points of damage from a lightning bolt.
All right. And yeah, the rest of the intellect devourers are just running for their lives. Widdle, what are you doing?
How much damage has the one, was it intellect devour that's near us taken?
There's none really, like they're all running. They're scammering away actually. And some are actually jumping off Storm Herald.
and then all of a sudden they just go poof, and it's like a parachute.
It's probably a better idea. I'll Eldritch Blast them. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no, you don't. And she casts magic missile. Just 3 darts right into the butt.
Into which's butt?
Whichever one is closest to me running away.
Well, there's a mind flare still up.
That one.
Okay. All right. Go and roll your damage.
8.
Well, full damage for the magic missile. Are you targeting just the mind flare with all darts, or?
Hold on 1 second. Because I cast it as a first level.
Yeah, 3 darts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's cast it as a 4th level. How about that?
Okay.
Why
How about
not?
that?
Why not?
All right. And what is your spell focus, by the way?
My blunderbuss. So I actually picked off a few thorns from the bramble around me, kind of, and then put it into my blunderbuss and aim it at this mind flayer.
Very crafty.
Mm-hmm. Resourceful. So let's see how many darts I get here with my 4th level. I get 6 darts.
Times 6.
So 36.
Yeah, you see this mind flare. Where these what do your darts do? What happens?
You see a green bolt of energy, one by one, just right into the middle of the forehead of this mind flayer.
All right, so 6 darts just go boom, 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 boom into the forehead over and over again, and every time, Freely, you get splashed by green goo right in your face. Just all 6 times as dart after dart after dart, and then the Mind Flayer, being so much taller than you, just kind of leans over on top of you, almost hugging you.
I don't like it.
And we are out of combat.
Meanwhile, Widdle is taking mental pictures to make a stop motion video later on with one of those old antique lamps, where you can add the pictures and when it spins, it just kind of plays a little show and you look inside of it.
I will say, if it's dead but it's still this close to me, after I realize it for a second, it's just like green flame blade.
You do so. You stick the blade into its head and green flame, and its eyes just kind of melt away, and it just looks like a Mind Flayer jack-o'-lantern.
I don't miss that.
Slowly smolders.
I don't miss that. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. And you see, he starts throwing a tantrum again, and just Eldritch blasting the corpse of these Mind Flayers. Like, I don't miss this. I don't miss this.
Orkira's still stunned, but she would totally be there right with you if she wasn't.
So yeah, like if Orkira and Briv and Penelope are still stunned, and the Mind Flayers who caused it are dead, like we're stunned forever, right? Like we're just locked into that.
Yeah, that's how it works. Thank you everybody for watching the show.
Statistically speaking, you'll pass the save eventually.
Yeah.
Well, with my -1, let's see.
Can someone shake you out of it?
Nope.
I'll do that. We'll all do the
Nope,
help.
I did not make it that time.
No one can shake you out of it. There's no
I'm
removing
rolling so
curse.
badly.
There's
I don't know
nothing.
what's going on.
There we go. It took me 4 rounds, and then I got an 18.
All right, I got it.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can. It's lesser restoration or one of those type things to remove the condition is what it would take, which none of us can do.
You have scared them off enough that you have time. If you keep the perimeter, nothing's approaching. So eventually, everyone who's stunned snaps out of it.
And actually, even lesser restoration wouldn't do it because it's blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, and we are stunned.
Ooh.
So, but fortunately, 26 seconds later, Orkira goes, everyone okay?
That was so much fun, you guys. Good job.
Yeah, no, that was pretty awesome.
No. Okay,
I have missed this.
You've missed almost being eaten by a Mind Flayer. Really?
Sure. It beats staying at home with the kids.
I did want to ask how you and the family and the kids were. But
everyone's fine.
Excuse me. I don't think we're done with our work here. You guys pointing at like the vines and stuff, weaving through the ship. I'm like, there's something else here that we need to get rid of.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of
Can
cleanup
we set
to
that
do.
aflame? Penelope, can you do anything about the vines? Can you?
I don't think that they're like plant vines.
When she says that, I immediately hit one of them with the green flame blade. Just see what happens.
It recoils from the fire.
Yep. Nope. We just got to find where all these
Let
lead.
us just set the ship on fire.
Oh, no.
This is what I said when we first arrived.
Hey, no, hang on a second. No, like we already cleared out like probably like half of them. Like I can sense if there's any more undead, and then we'll just go through and clean them out. And then we got like a cool ship. We could go all over the place. We could finally go to the plane of ice cream and milkshakes. I can finally see it.
The fortress is made of something like adamantine, is it not? I mean, it will probably survive fire.
It's stone. It could handle fire.
I mean, it depends on the kind of fire.
It depends where these lead and who's there.
Yeah. Do you think they lead to the control room?
Could be.
We should find out.
Yeah, I mean, they came from down these stairs, so we should probably go down those stairs and see what's down there, and then like stab it a lot.
Yeah.
Is it worth sending Griff to look?
It is always worth sending your completely disposable familiar. Yes.
No, don't say it where he can hear you.
That is how
she sitting there turns his back to Briv, and I scratch him just because I know he's pouting. That was mean. It was mean, Briv.
Make an investigation.
I apologize.
Make an investigation check using through Griff as Griff is flying through, because you're very familiar with Storm Herald. You've lived here for years.
Griff. So investigation is intelligence. So, yikes.
+4 from Briv because he feels bad about the.
But you're not there, right? You're not nearby.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, okay.
No, but you're
sorry.
using his eyes, right?
Yes.
No, then you're the one who's making it.
Oh
you're
wait,
using your
is it
observation.
a save? If it's not a save, it doesn't matter.
It's not
Sorry.
safe.
I thought
No,
you
it's
said a save. Okay.
Ability check. Yeah, use your own investigation.
It's a 14. It's not great.
Yeah, you see the interconnecting, veins / roots everywhere. You don't see any more intellect devourers anywhere, but you see lots of mind flayer bodies, and the 14. Yeah, that's all you really get. But you do see that they all these tendrils are heading to the control room.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, did anyone else notice that they were vampiric?
Oh no! What?
Well, I did, but just for the record, I'm nothing like them. They're a different kind of vampire.
What sort
Yeah,
of
they're all
vampire?
mind flayers. Yeah, clearly
Yeah.
different.
Because
so-
being a mind flayer wasn't bad enough, and then they had to be undead, and then they also had to be a vampire. I mean, is a mind flayer bad enough?
So you guys, I kind of got a thing. I could kind of help if we got like 10 minutes before we go rushing into battle. Would any of you benefit from a short rest?
Yeah, I could take a little cat nap.
I think it's a good idea to take a second and prepare while we
Well-
have it.
Well, because that's kind of a thing I can do now. I can it only will take 10 minutes, but you can it's like you slept for like an hour.
Oh.
Yeah, but only if something good's gonna come out of the short rest. If not, we'll keep rolling.
I don't think at this point I require that rest.
Briv is rubbing his shoulder, and he lays on hands for 15 points of damage to heal.
The moment you do so, smoke erupts out of both of your palms as you heal yourself, and you do heal, but for half.
You okay, buddy?
And these black smoky tendrils come out of your hand and point towards the center of Storm Herald, almost as if that energy is being siphoned from you.
Briv?
It was not me, I promise thee.
Come here.
Maybe we skip the nap.
Or maybe we
Yeah.
take a moment, and I want to examine that.
The smoke and tendrils stopped. It was just almost like an instantaneous thing that happened when he tried.
Okay, can I examine him?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Are you doing a medicine check?
Give me an ear. I mean, I would like to do a medicine check if that will help, but that's kind of what she's aiming for. Yeah, turn. Let me see your ear. All right. Let me listen to your heart. Oh,
You
wait,
say
sorry,
that the
hold-
ear hair is singed, but it was very long before that.
Sorry about that.
And that's
Well-
a 27.
Have you done a medicine check on Briv before?
Oh, yeah. Often, actually, I have done multiple medicine checks on him. There was when he ate the butter.
It's like a game
creature.
of operations.
There was when he was when we're all infected with the ooze. There's been multiple. Yeah, I am
Okay.
familiar with Briv's innards.
Briv,
I am sorry.
It
It's
doesn't
my
help
job,
that
it's
they're
okay.
often outheads as well, so we're used to turning them back into innards.
whatever is in his bones has become denser and more pervasive.
Okay. And
Like, Briv is more solid. In fact, Briv might be a little taller, even. You're not quite sure. But it has increased.
I had a good chiropractor for the
Is
last
this-
year.
if I take a second and then re-examine, is there a change? Is he currently changing, or is the change happened and now he's stable?
No, since the last time you gave him a physical examination.
Okay. I mean, like in the last 10 seconds or so.
No. This was since his last yearly visit.
Okay. Between multiple things that have happened in Orkira's life, she is actually very in tune with creatures having their bodies changed by other creatures. Do I recognize what this will cause this?
I mean, it's very clearly the metal in his bones.
Has changed, but like, do I know what would have caused that change?
You suspect the metal in his bones itself, as is a living thing.
And so I'll relay all that to Briv and say, does that happen? Are you expecting the metal in your bones to be alive?
I believe that it is alive. As I have told thee, I have trained with Flo to learn how to speak to, and the rest of this I start saying telepathically, to speak to one's mind. And then as I do that, I'm like, so I believe that the metal in my bones does speaketh to me.
Okay, well, something's happened because you're taller, and whatever that was that just happened with the smoke and the thing.
We are Steelmarrow.
Oh yeah, we can do whatever we want.
Wait, it's only to one person, though, right? It's not to everyone at once that you can talk to, Briv? Or is it
Only
to
one
everyone?
at a time.
One at a time, and then I say that to Alyndra. One at a time.
Fair enough.
No, this is all wonderful and everything, but could we go and like finish liberating the ship before they
Oh.
like reconvene or like, you know, regather their forces
Sure,
or something?
Freely. I mean, it's just an incredibly pivotal moment in my backstory, but let's let's go and gloss
Here's
it
the
over.
problem. You're going to tell the story again next time we're all sitting around and having pints. Like, this is like the fourth time you told us this, man. Come on. Like, and also,
Very well, very well.
Also, you see those dead mind flayers? Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that? That was
I'm
impressive.
sure that
right?
I did that. The metal probably did that while I was asleep.
No,
Well-
you didn't see what I. Oh, man.
On a hunch while that's going on, I'm going to walk over to Penelope and say, are you okay? Have you tried healing yourself?
Oh, I could try. And I'll just do a cure wounds on myself.
Go and roll.
I'm keeping an eye to see if the same thing happens.
So that's an 8 points of healing.
You only get 4 points, and again, black tendrils kind of stream out of your hands as you try to heal yourself and head in the direction of the center of Storm Herald.
Is that like a physical thing? Do I see?
Wisps of supernatural smoke.
I get the feeling that we should stop healing ourselves because, I built this place and all this energy goes to one room. And I got a real bad feeling about this.
Yeah, me too. I'm just worried that we're all infected with something.
I think we're
the
fine, and we'll know
I
for
think-
sure if we go and do violence on whatever's hurting them.
Listen, obviously Freely is in a hurry to get things done. He rushes and rushes until life is no fun. And so therefore,
No,
we shall...
He's talking in poetry. Something's wrong with Briv.
I read several children's books for the last year, and they are all that bounce around mine head at this point. But let us go and discover what the source of this foul malfeasance is.
Yes, Jen?
It seems that if these were turned vampiric, and this seems to be sucking essence from both Briv and Penelope, healing essences, it would stand to reason that perhaps something here is stealing the essence of any living creatures aboard it. Particularly the healing energies.
Are you saying Storm Herald's a vampire?
Yes.
Ooh.
I would like to once again suggest burning the whole thing with fire.
You see, Freely does go over, and I throw the dead mind flayer corpses overboard in case they're getting up again. Like, no, not today. Yep, that's
Have I
enough of you.
ever heard of any, like, what is the extent of my knowledge about vampire lore? Have I ever heard of a building becoming?
I mean, I've heard that the world is a vampire.
No, you've not heard of a scenario quite like this. No, not to
Okay.
this extent. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the mountain, in basically only a portion of an inn,
It's an open air format.
I was
Gentle
gonna ask-
George, the Warforged bouncer, is sitting there. And then two dead mind flares explode on top of him.
Did you
I mean, the intellect devourer has already jumped. I figured they were dead or fighting anyway, so
Just tell me
luckily he's
Oscar is
main-
okay. Is Oscar okay?
Oscar's fine, but like
Okay, good.
Gentle George is mainly made out of metal, maybe adamantine, but like he just kind of looks up and he's got like a tutu of mind flares on him.
You're
Just
welcome.
exploded.
Did you
I
say a
do not
I
tutu
want
of
to
mind
check on
flares?
something. I have a ring in my pack that was of the same metal that Briv is. I want to see if that's changed at all.
Did I give that to thee?
No,
Or
you
didst
left it
thou
on the
steal that
corpse.
from me?
No, you left it on a corpse.
That
Like
has not
it's
changed.
part
And this,
of
I'm
me?
not. I'm doing this privately. This is not. I'm not
Oh.
openly. Yeah.
Gotcha. I was about to get
Yeah.
into
I'm
it.
looking for where it is, but we picked it up down in the dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
We found that corpse of another half orc with the same type of bones.
The mill has not changed.
While they're talking, Freely heads down the stairs. I'm like, I'll go see if there's any undead down here. If you hear screaming, come after me.
Oh, wait.
Briv
Oh.
walks
Wait for me,
after
wait for
him.
me. Yeah, let's go, let's go.
All right, let's go. Here we go.
Yep.
Although,
Halflings of
what-
action.
Halflings of action. Let's go.
Whittle,
Right
what
behind
are you
ya.
doing?
Right behind everyone else.
Yeah, how are you walking,
Don't-
Whittle?
Well,
Carefully.
if there are any walls, I do prepare to walk on those.
So you see Whittle, who's walking slowly and doing like her best attempt to move slowly, is on top of the ceiling, walking down the hall with you, down the stairs.
Just at pace with everyone else. Like,
Before we leave, as everybody's walking down the stairs, Orkira's gonna stop and look back where where Averin is hiding in the shadows and say, "Are you still okay?"
Oh yeah, I'm fine. Very good job, by the way. That looked very touch and go. Don't
Mind
worry about
flares.
me. I'm okay. He's still holding his side.
I guess it's too late for both those things. All right, stay here. We'll be back.
No, I can come along with if you want. I'm fine.
No,
I-
just stay it there.
You're already downstairs. Everybody decided to walk off. So no. Stay here. Stay safe. We'll try to come back, and we'll probably have to flee. They'll be fleeing. We'll be back.
I appreciate your concern, Orkira, but I am not real, so it's okay if you need me to follow.
You're right here in front of me, and so you're real.
You
I-
may go ahead.
I'm not having this discussion with you right now. Just stay here and stay safe, and I'll follow everybody.
I will do so. He just starts like picking up burning brains and like shoveling them off, tossing them off of Storm Herald.
I mean, that's what he
Without
wants
looking.
to do in his spare time. That's fine. So, but yeah, I'll join the procession downstairs to fun.
Okay.
I will say, the moment I get to the bottom of the stairs, I hit divine sense to know the presence of any undead, celestial, fey, or fiends, or anything, or celestials, fiends, or undead, no fey, and whether or not anything's been affected by the Hallow spell.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
This is not a strength.
This is where we
Oh,
find
I
out.
see. That's not terrible. That's a dirty 20.
Oh, dirty
Hey.
20, you're fine. You've got the worst headache out of all because all of Storm Herald pings.
Okay, so good news and bad news. Really, no, it's all just bad news. The ship itself is registering as either undead or at least unhallowed. I should be able to tell the difference. Is the ship unhallowed?
It
Or
is
is the ship
definitely
undead?
unhallowed, and
Yeah.
you sense not like the entire ship is undead. You sense that veiny structure is undead.
Okay, so this thing, and I very much stab it again with the green flame blade, is undead, and the ship is unhallowed.
Unhallowed, what does that mean?
It's like, you know when Orkira like puts her hands on us and we feel better and we're like better at things?
Okay.
It's that, but the opposite of that. You like put your hands and it's worse. Everything is worse.
Sort of like most
the
things
opposite
that
of
I
being
touch.
blessed or
Yeah.
sanctified.
The opposite of, which I can figure out, but can't really fix.
I can
Well,
fix.
thankfully,
Can we just
Go
crash this thing into a mountain again?
Wait, no, but
I'm
I
with
mean, like,
Penelope.
No, I mean, this is going to be this. Okay, hang on a second. It's a little bit of a fixer-upper. That's true. But I really think it's worth us trying to reclaim this vessel.
I think you're going to see soon, sometime in the future, this ship is going to be very valuable to us and could save many creatures on this plane of existence. I would not recommend doing that.
And we would have come and fought the undead anyway. Don't you want to fight undead, Orkira? Don't you want to fight undead, Orkira?
Wanting to and being very good at it are two very different things.
Yeah, I know. Some of us get to experience both. Come on, let's go. And I very much still head further in, whatever's down there.
I will follow up behind Penelope and I'll say, I think you've got the best idea. I will
Although-
100% back your destroying into a mountain play. It will be really cool. I mean, think of all the explosions, the
Also,
fireworks.
Considering stealth was already not an option, intermittently, I do just shoot Eldritch Blast into the darkness ahead of me. Like, if I shoot something, I don't care. So I'm just as we're walking.
There might be a few straggling intellect devourers that, one that only has 3 legs. Just kind of like pop it off into the corner.
Oh, there you went. Think fast.
Widdle smells some of her hair singeing because she's still walking on the ceiling and her hair is hanging down, so some of the Eldritch Blast goes right through her hair. Kind of tries to tie it up behind her head.
Oh, do you want to borrow my hat? And I'll pull off my fuzzy hat and go to hand it to you.
Oh,
I want.
That would be great.
Yeah, here you go. It's got flaps for my horns, so like some of your hair might come out, but at least now your hair won't be like all over the place.
I can't fit my goggles underneath this hat. Do you want to wear my goggles? Oh.
I wish I had horn flaps.
I don't know if I could get them over my horns, but they're really cool. Here,
Quick, Freely, we're all trading clothes. You want to put on my cloak?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I don't have anything that would look good on you. Wait, we can swap cloaks.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, all right.
Someone swap the loincloth with me.
No.
Grassy and like delightful.
The loincloth?
I mean, not the loincloth.
Grassy and delightful is a term I've never heard anyone say before. I love
mean,
D&D so much.
It is an apt description of her grass cloak.
Well, your goggles are super cool. That's really nice. I don't think they're gonna fit me, but they are really nice looking.
Well, you might be able to fit it on one horn.
Nuzzling at them.
Oh.
But keep moving. Something's in here.
So if this is in fact unhallowed, Penelope, you can dispel magic, correct?
Yeah.
As can I, just as for your information.
Penelope, you can dispel magic, correct?
Yeah.
So why don't we try that?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Team Griff. Justice for Griff.
You're gonna have to add Queen of Shade on the end of that long ass name.
We do have the first time Meagan was on the show. We got Mom Shade from Sophia's.
You should have called your mother more often.
I may have
Send her a sending
steel
stone every
in
once in a
mine
while.
bones, but thou dost have ice water in thine veins.
It's the truth.
I want give me a perception. What's the worst for Freely here?
All of them.
I will give you investigation with advantage, and I would like an investigation check from Alyndra and also Widdle.
He is a doer, not a thinker.
You said investigation?
Yeah.
14 for me.
16, but actually hold you know what? I'm gonna use my luck. And I got it up to 18. I've used one instance of luck. 18.
I only got a 7, I believe.
Okay. Freely, it's an odd thing to notice when you're looking at these. There are several still mind flayer dead bodies, but they are in fact dead.
He stabs every single one of them.
As you're doing so, the shading of some of them is different, and the clothing of some of them is in fact different. You notice that these are 2 different mind flayer colonies aboard this ship.
They have very nice contouring on their tentacles here. That's hard to accomplish with a nice rouge. So these are different from the kind that were turned into vampires?
No, well, some of there are flat out. Some of them just died before they became vampires. But of the ones that were alive and died, that did not become undead, there's definitely two different colonies here, and there appears to be wounds and damage against each other in the colony.
Like they fought each other while they were still alive and then died?
Yes.
I point this out to the group. Do I remember from my time as a mind flayer, do I know the elder brain that they're connected to? Like, does it mean anything to me what they look like?
Some of these are from the same elder brain you were connected to.
Oh, encephalithid. At it again. Okay. Okay, so you guys, bad news and different news. Two different kinds of mind flayers. Apparently they were fighting each other though, so I think something might be messing with their minds, like more than mind flayers already do, like maybe like turn on your friends type business here. Because mind flayers are usually very much of a single mind, if you know what I mean.
Freely, what dost thou believe has created these illithics? What has done that?
Whatever this thing is, and I very much stab those like red tendrils again. Wherever these go, this is the source of our problems.
Widdle, what was your investigation?
14.
You notice some of these lithids have been stabbed by weapons.
Yeah, it was me. I did it. She watched me do it.
No, yeah, older than that. You are messing with her investigation check as she's trying to examine like holes in the mind flare, and then you're like,
it's just the only way to be sure. Like I should have done it last time.
This is an ancient crime scene. Stand back.
Well, but I mean, your ancient crime victims like got up and tried to eat us before.
So, do we think that one colony came once one group had turned? Was it a rescue operation, a salvage operation? Or were they fighting when they were both alive? Is there any way to tell on that? Can I try and...
They were fighting when they were both alive. You can tell that they were, like, from the wounds and everything else between you and Widdle, you can tell that they bled normally. They have atrophied normally. And the decay, the bacteria, all of it. They were actively fighting each other before this event happened. And you do see some swords of a make that you do not recognize. And on that 14, well, you find a weird blunderbuss that you've never quite seen before.
Think I'll take this for myself?
Wait, this is just suspended in the tentacles? Or the tendrils?
Not suspended
or whatever these are?
Yeah, not suspended in the tentacles. They're just laying about.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Alyndra? Go ahead.
Yes?
I was just going to say, with Widdle's long, pointy index nail, she dips it into one of the old wounds and tastes it.
Oh.
This one died innocent.
Not with it.
You do know vampirism is bloodborne, right?
As is becoming an illithid. If you ingest it, it's not a good decision.
Well, it didn't really affect me last time.
Food poisoning.
Way worse.
A bit of the rumbly tumblies, that's about it.
Right.
Did we want to ask one of these illithids what happened?
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. I like where your head's at. That's why I didn't cut its head off. Yeah. Maybe, sure.
Actually, you could have cut its head off. I just need a jaw.
Oh.
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Wait, does an illithid have a jaw to speak?
Then.
No, they have a giant sphincter with teeth.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. They need to be able to speak in order for me to do the thing. I can do the thing if we think that they'll talk with us. If they were fighting each other, maybe they'll be willing to tell us what was going on, if only to try to convince us to do something we probably don't want to do anyway, but maybe we'll know more.
I mean, they're going to have a very illithid point of view, but yeah, it's probably worth it.
I'm going to look for a corpse that has a mouth.
Yep, you find one that's missing one of its tentacles that has been slashed off, but clearly by some sort of sword or blade.
Freely, is this one of the ones that was attached to the mind flayers that you know?
I would point out one from the encephalithid elder brain colony.
Okay.
Okay.
Just in case, maybe you can help.
Yeah, we probably knew each other at some point. Yeah, probably.
Okay. And she'll kneel down behind, in front of it and
Do
spend
you want
about.
to prepare the questions before we?
Yeah, why
begin?
don't all you think of the questions and I'm gonna.
I
I'm
like
gonna-
to improvise.
This is why we prepare the questions, Briv.
Yeah, no negative
Improvisation.
repercussions. Yeah.
And this is also why they filter through Orkira.
And vague questions are better because then they'll talk. Hopefully. So things like, what were you doing here? Why were you fighting these other Illithids? What's up with all the
What-
undead?
So why were you here? Who are they? What were you doing?
Why is my metal doing this to me?
Oh, how did you die?
How did you die is a good one because corpses always want to talk about how they died, and then you find out a lot of information, but they always want to go on and on about how.
Yeah, ghosts.
Narcissism,
Same
even
thing
in death.
with the same thing with the ghosts. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, every time.
Ask
Maybe we start.
them if they're sorry.
I can tell you, they are not sorry. They're mind flayers.
think
They
so.
are not sorry. No.
Okay. Okay.
We'll
No
save that for
regrets.
last if we have an extra. Okay. So,
Right. So
how'd you die? Why are you here? Why are you fighting the other mind flayers? And we can kind of go from there depending on the answers.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Because
she'll
we have 5 questions.
5 questions.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And she'll sit and she'll stare at this corpse for a very long time, doing nothing but breathing heavy. And then you see she kind of grasps her book and hyperventilates a bit and says, I hate doing this. Let's talk. And she casts Speak with Dead.
You connect.
I don't connect with anything. Like, this isn't a mind-to-mind thing.
You
She-
plug into the USB jack. You got it wrong the first time, but
You jump
I
started.
always
You
get
jump
this
flip,
wrong
started.
way.
flip the
Yeah.
cord.
I
Mhm.
grant a
You gotta make
semblance-
sure that your claws like in the temple, but like the right way, not the
I just-
upside down.
I just kind of poke and poke and poke. I always get this the wrong way.
And it's just one target at a time. It's not like a range.
Yeah. I
right?
grant the semblance of life and intelligence to a corpse.
Okay.
So, does it work?
Yes.
I mean, I'm going to say it anyway. I'm sorry you're dead. And hopefully you'll answer a couple questions. And,
I am not.
And hopefully you'll answer a couple questions. And maybe we'll do something that you want us to do if you'll answer some questions, okay? How'd you die?
The renegades killed us.
I'll side eye freely at that. Why were you here on this city?
To kill the renegades and take Stormherald.
What are the renegades?
The renegade colony. They are free. They must be killed.
I'll glance over it freely again and like just mouth free. Because I think
That's-
we both know what that means.
That's 3 questions, correct?
That's 3. I got 2 more.
Ask him if all of the renegades are vampires.
Are all of the renegades vampires?
No. That happened later.
Later than what?
How many questions is that?
That was 5.
That's
Later than
5.
what is number 5?
When we went into the darkness.
And that's all it gives me.
Yep.
Well, I'll say one thing for illithids. They're not as chatty as everybody else in death. And I will produce flame and I will burn the body.
Did Alyndra say what she experienced with the darkness and screaming? Because we don't know that
Yes.
unless you
I
did
was
tell us that.
trying to convey it to those who were nearby.
Yeah, I turned and asked if you were okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
He said after the darkness, didn't you experience getting pulled into something weird?
I did. There was nothing. It was absolute nothingness, and then I heard my voice. Someone screaming for me. Not my voice, but some screaming for me.
Hey, Briv, you got any more of that garlic?
Being perfectly honest, he probably would have pocketed some of it. Is that fair, Todd, or do we want?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that sounds like Briv. Absolutely, I have some right here, and you see him reach into his loincloth somewhere and produce the garlic.
Cool.
I don't want it.
Pocket garlic.
I just kind of look at Briv and motion over to Alyndra.
Is something wrong with thy neck?
Alyndra, into the void.
What
Need to
about
test her to see if
Alyndra?
she's a vampire.
Oh. No, I have seen her eyes go black like this many times before. I think
You
that
can test me. Test me. It's fine.
test
I'd
thee
rather
how.
know.
And then I take the loincloth garlic and just shove it into
no.
her face.
I mean, I feel like that's innately repulsive to anyone, though. Like
It's
that's less
awfully
than-
pungent, indeed.
Does she react? Does she recoil?
I mean, she recoils from it.
Yes. She is a demon witch. And produces his sword.
When he pulls his sword out, I
No,
jump in
Briv,
front of her
it's
and I'm
not-
like, wait. When I detected undead, she didn't ping, okay? She didn't ping. We might have a problem with Widdle. But no, nothing with Alyndra.
Freely remember we said that Widdle is going to be a later problem, right?
Yeah, no, I've just verified that we might be later.
Does Widdle hear what they're
when you
talking
detected
about?
Undead,
Oh yeah.
Widdle absolutely pinged, by the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm a good undead because I'm also humanoid, and I've been helping you fight these things. So I feel like I've proven my place on this plane of existence.
I agree with that.
Penelope, you were about to say something. We're sorry.
Thank you, Briv.
I was?
Oh, I thought I heard you. Sorry.
I would like to hear from thee, Penelope.
Yeah, if a lot's happening. Where
What
are you
does
at?
I have to
Like,
say?
mentally, where are you thinking?
Oh gosh. I don't know. I think we should move forward, don't you guys think?
Yeah.
Briv offers out his hand and says, improvisation.
Yeah.
You get to the control room. If you move on, it's not very far from that dead body.
We do, and if we've
Is there
gone more
anything in
than
that-
if we've gone more than 60 feet, I hit the divine sense again in case there's like something else.
Something else besides everything? Besides
But there-
the entire city?
There might be a more centralized everything. You know, you never know.
Something.
If thou dost ever run out of the ability to divine sense, keep in mind that I can also do that.
Well, I
So
mean, we
just
could trade
let
off.
me
You
know.
could take this one if you want. Like, I mean, I
No.
know because you kind of missed out on some of the like upstairs stuff. So, what? Please, after you.
Very well. And so Briv kind of walks forward a little bit, kind of like when you're at the bowling alley and somebody just made a strike and you're like really, really trying to front. And he just like raises out his hand and says, I sense, and I'm going to use the divine sensibility, and it kind of pings out some bluish white light. Do I sense anything within 60 feet?
Wisdom saving throw, please.
I knew that was going to happen, and that's why I wanted to do it. All right. So, just out of curiosity, is this anything to do with fear?
No.
Is it a magical effect?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm probably not going to need it. I rolled a 20. I've got advantage on it, but 27.
You're fine. You feel some encroaching darkness, but there is something terrible on the other side of that door.
There is something terrible on the other side of that door.
Do we think
Yep.
do we think it's the same darkness that Alyndra felt? Alyndra, I mean, did you get anything other than that it sucked?
No, I couldn't identify anything other than that. But I can see what's on the other side with clairvoyance if you'd like.
Or we can just open the door, and Briv opens the door.
You open the door, and it is like a strobe light is going off. Just this, and almost everything in this room is almost a grayscale, just vibrating and undulating. Just the light like flows out in a normal way, and then gets sucked back into this big, swarming liquid black ball that is floating in the center of the control room, and all of these veins are attached to this black ball from the ceiling, from the roof, from the walls. Everything all is conjoining into this absolute darkness that only shines because of the light that is being sucked around it in some kind of halo effect.
I look at Penelope and I say, "That's unhallowed."
Oh, okay.
In the room, you find several dead mind flayers.
What do I find in the center of the room?
In the center of the room is the darkness.
Without entering the room, how far away is this darkness from us?
It is about 60. It's about 30 feet. The control room's not that big.
Jeez.
So does this look like? Does Briv think that this could be cut?
No.
Briv.
Even Briv
curveball.
thinks maybe nothing comes back.
Gotcha.
Curveball, Briv. You said you're telepathic now, right? Maybe try and talk to it.
Hello, darkness, mine old friend.
I'm very ready to tackle Briv if something crazy happens, by the way.
I've got lesser restoration on prep.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Todd. You knew who we were.
I almost broke it.
You are in complete darkness. Hello.
Hello. Who art thou?
We are here,
That did not answer mine question.
and we know you,
I am Briv Steelmarrow. Pleasure to meet thee.
and now you're ours. Wisdom saving throw.
Do not belong to anyone.
Wisdom saving throw.
Is it magical? Well, that's a 27 again.
We are the other place.
Wait, how is Briv a 27?
I've got an 8 wisdom and I rolled a 19.
You know, I'd like to start singing Counter Charm.
You see his eyes go black.
What is thine other place?
Do you want to go there?
I do not think that I do, at least before I see the brochure.
Because we can take you there now.
Why don't thou goest there and leave us here?
Well, we need heroes.
For what purpose?
You start feeling the room vibrate. And the energy courses through all of Storm Herald as red energy starts moving through the veins of the entire building.
It isn't me.
Is that good for us or bad for us?
I'm not sure, because this thing is saying it is the other place.
Bad for us.
There's a lot of other places.
Are they about? Wait, are
I
they about to
asked for
jump the ship?
clarity and got none.
Are they about to take us somewhere?
The humming is getting louder and louder and louder and louder.
Widdle, does that sound like
And-
engines?
Penelope, dispel the magic now. Hurry.
Yeah, dispel the magic right now.
I wish I can't do that. I helped build this place, and it's different now.
Mhm.
Is
But
there?
Penelope, you're going to try to dispel magic, because if you aren't, I will.
I did it.
You might both
Okay.
have to.
I attempted.
What level are you casting this spell magic?
It's a 3rd level. I was going to cast it at a 4th level.
Okay. And what's kind of saving throw?
Even-
Anything?
It's like
has
if
to
she,
make a check if it is higher than 3rd level.
yeah,
If
the
it is a
magic
4th level or higher.
yeah, if the magic is higher, she has to roll.
DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. Okay. 9 DC 5. Wait, I'm confused now. I've never done this at a 4th level.
You
Yeah,
just
no,
roll a
you-
d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Oh, it's a nat 20 for a 29.
Hey,
That's a good thing because it was a 19. We'll find you again. And then just dissipates and explodes. And at this exact moment, the black ball dissipates, light flows into the room, and the veins screech and holler and shrivel away from the control room immediately. And you just see everything turn to dust.
Hey, Penelope, you did it!
Yeah, Penelope, you did it. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in.
Wonderful.
Ah.
Wonderful. Even Griff looks at you and sort of like, well done, kind of.
Is Storm Herald still flying, or do we need to start fleeing?
Nope, Storm Herald is still flying. Dispel magic does not work on magical items.
No, it was less about that and more about. Okay. There's a moment where Orkira's like, "All right, do we need to go?"
Now you see the veins kind of like crawling away, and just they are flaking off and just
I-
dissipating into nothingness.
Think we won.
We won!
I mean, of course we won. We always win. Mostly.
Briv, are you still connected to that thing? Do you need?
I do not hear it any longer, but before it left, it said that I should be the captain of this ship.
Sure. I'm gonna look
Okay.
into his eyes. Are his eyes still black? Does he look like he's still
No.
connected? Okay.
Does honestly, I think all things being equal, Alyndra tends to make far better tactical decisions than you or I do, Briv, because we sort of like we're always kind of do our one thing, but she sort of like thinks things through.
Fair enough. I shall relinquish mine command to thee, Alyndra.
A servant leader.
Huzzah.
Do we want to make sure that the rest of this place is that there's not like another one of these black balls hiding somewhere?
Yes,
'Cause
please.
that was
Yeah.
bad.
Does it still feel unhallow? I'll hit the divine sense again.
You just pick up Widdle.
Nope. All clear. I mean,
Wow.
except for Widdle.
You know what we should
Radar
do?
problem.
You know what we should do? We should do some spring cleaning and make this place all spiffy again.
Although, speaking
I
of a
would like
later
that.
problem, Widdle, are you capable of driving this thing? Like, can you make it take us places?
Well, yeah, sure.
Okay, you guys,
If I
hear
could,
me
if
out.
I could just take a look at this control room, DM.
You guys, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, so like we had a pretty good run together, and then we kind of like did some of our other stuff. You know, like we collaborate, then we work on solo projects. But like together we help a lot of people all the time. And with this thing, we could go anywhere. We could just be heroes, but we could be heroes of the plane.
Huzzah.
Catchy.
Like large flat tracts of grass.
I mean, some planes are like
Those
that.
two,
Like,
but that's
we'll
that's
be-
an
we'll be
AI,
heroes-
And we could do A&E. So
You'd
Okay.
be like heroes
It's
of
abbreviated
It's
as
the homonym.
hot
Heroes of
tea.
land
I
things?
love it.
Heroes. Well, okay. So, assuming that this place is safe and we clean it all up, first we gotta get Ramble, Harry, Gentle George, and Oscar back to wherever they came from.
Why? They seemed fine to me.
Yeah,
Because-
we don't know that there's somewhere bad, and we're out somewhere on the
That-
prime material. It's fine.
Because
that-
because of us, they got taken from their home, and their home was
Incorrect.
just
Because of Snowflake.
Incorrect. Because of Avrin, they got taken from their homes. He's
And
not
All
even
the
here.
more reason why we should help them.
yes,
Oh.
because Avron's not going to help them, and so we have to.
And then that's
And
why
I
we work
turn
well
to
together.
Avron and I say, so, what else can you tell us?
Well, my primary concern was that Storm Herald maybe was attacking towns. Other than that, what do you want to know?
What was
What-
the creepy black thing?
Well, if you're asking my professional opinion, I do retain some information. That seemed like something from the negative material plane.
Ooh. That is the
And-
opposite of the plane of milkshakes and ice cream.
I don't suppose you've heard anything about how to drive this thing since it's been taken over.
That's not necessarily my skill set, but you built this place as I understand it. And he opens a book and he's like looking up like Widdle. Yeah, you built this place. So
But it seems like they've re-engineered a few things.
well, I'm not an engineer, so I think that might be a specialization that you yourself would probably have.
She starts ripping out some of the veins in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, what he's saying is if we had to call someone for help with this, we'd call you.
Oh, that's a little disconcerting that I'm the one who knows the most about this thing because they've done a lot of damage to it since I've been here. It's been a really long time, and it's all overgrown.
Well,
But I have to. Can I make an investigation roll or
you can make an Arcana roll.
Arcana roll?
We have
Okay.
time. I can go to the kitchen and whip up some supper.
I'll give her bardic inspiration so you can add a d8 because this might be important whether or not you figured this out.
Thanks.
I mean, we know how to fly this, right? We could fly it before.
You do know how to
So-
fly it, absolutely.
So that's a 21.
So 21, you absolutely know how to still fly it. You've done that before, but now there is some Mind Flayer technology that has been inserted into this with some other technologies you don't fully recognize that allows you to teleport from plane of existence to plane of existence.
Oh.
For those who are investigating, there are multiple areas. There is obviously the cooking area is still there. The food is all rotten. There's still some white meat left in the freezer.
Excellent.
You do find in kind of what is the cargo bay of Storm Herald a giant stone tablet that maybe once had been on a temple floor as well. You continue to find dead mind flayers, and some of them have been hacked and slashed to pieces with swords. And you do see who speaks Illithid?
I mean,
think
I
really
was
we'll-
tapped in. I was tapped into the brain. Too,
Yeah, me
right?
too. I mean, I've at least before I've understood it. So
You can kind of get the sense through some of the there is actually some Illithid writings and formulas that were done onto some not stone tablets, but like something that was kind of malleable, almost like liquid that you could stick your hands through, then became like concrete, but then you could wipe it away again. A weird viscous liquid. They have
Etch a
traveled.
sketch.
They have
Legally
traveled
distinct.
to 3 or 4 different planes of existence. One of them was the negative material plane. That was the last one they went to.
what were the ones before that?
You recognize the you recognize the Frostfell? You recognize the prime material plane? You recognize the astral plane? And then you don't know what one symbol is, but it is in the shape of an Ouroboros.
It's not the symbol for the negative material plane. That's a
No,
different thing.
that's
I'm
where they
over.
went right beforehand.
I just look at Alyndra and I say, well, clearly something went wrong in the negative material plane, which I feel like was implied in the title. But maybe we should backtrack where they've been to make sure they didn't do anything terrible, like leave Garrison for a Mind Flayer invasion, because that's kind of their whole thing.
Agreed. And that symbol, that's the symbol I've been following. It's popping up everywhere. It's been in countless places. Before I met all of these people, everyone we travel with, I was investigating that symbol.
It just looks like a big old hungry snack, though. It's like he's eating his own tail. Like I don't.
It does, but it's been universal in cultures that never communicated with one another.
I mean, there's a lot of
places
hungry snacks. No.
Not like that. This is very specific. I've never seen
Oh.
anything quite. And she holds up a token.
That
There you go.
is very accurate. I myself have never seen a snake trying to eat its own tail, so that's okay. All right.
It sounds very inefficient.
Well, what do you say maybe we check out the Frostfell first, because I hate the cold, so let's just get that out of the way. And at least we get to
So-
keep our own bodies, so...
Well,
So you don't want to go to the most recent place we were? So
Ah,
they were
that
the
would
negative
be
material?
the no. I feel like that's probably not good, because they went there and came back vampires, and Briv just said they
Fair.
tried to do a thing to him, so maybe we don't do that one.
They did say it was the other place, and so
Wh-
if we want to go to the other place, we can do that.
Under further examination, the mind flares changed when they were in the negative material plane. They are suffused with that energy. So
Yeah,
that
that's-
is the point of the corruption.
Yeah, that's gonna be a new from
So
old
that was
Freely.
the negative material plane that caused that.
yeah. Could I suggest before we start planes hopping, especially if we're looking at the astral plane? You said that sounds a little dangerous. We go pick up the 4, we clean up the city, and get it all kitted out for jumping planes.
Yeah.
You know, we did just fight a whole bunch of mind flayers and a creepy thing from the negative material plane. I think we deserve picking up the people who need to be rescued and a party.
I still do not think that they need to be rescued, but I am coming around to this plan because if we perform this service for the barkeep and restore order to his tavern, then he probably will shower us in free drinks for quite some time. And so, therefore, worth it.
I mean, I'm not against dropping these dudes off, because who knows? More mind flayers might stop back by here and like investigate, and I'd hate them to be stuck here when more mind flayers show up. So, sure, let's take them back. Where even were you, Briv? Did you say?
I believe that I was somewhere. No, I drank far too much. I do not remember. But perhaps the barkeep will.
You are able, and for the interest of time, you are able to convince Ramble and Gentle George and Oscar all to come up to Storm Herald.
And
You
Harry?
managed-
How did they get up there?
No, you convinced them.
Can
Like,
levitate them up. Telekinesis. We've got lots of solutions.
yeah. There is also a lift pulley system on Storm Herald itself. It's not quite 500 feet, but it's a lot.
Say a very long, very, very long rope ladder.
Magical platforms are easily accessible in most places. Not ridiculous.
Tinser's yeeting disc.
I've been called a lot of things, but an accessibility platform has never been one of them, and I think
You know
that's
what?
kinda
It's
cool.
an excellent thing to be.
I'm
That is true.
happy with it. I will accept that new title from you, Alyndra. Thank you. As I'm sure Orkira will just fly down and like pick them up one by one.
The Orkira
Okay, yeah.
Express.
Are you the ferry system?
Yeah,
just-
they're all talking about ferrying and like doing magical things and extra things. And by the time that they're done, they're like, maybe we'll do this thing. I
Listen,
have grabbed Oscar in his rocking chair and have flown him
He's
up, and
still
he's still
asleep.
asleep.
Oh,
Freely
He better still be
doesn't-
asleep. And I-
Freely
I
doesn't
was thinking
look-
we made the case for adding a lift just to Storm Herald.
Freely doesn't
Perhaps.
look, because in my mind it's full flying monkeys, like they're trying to get away from you, and you're just swooping them and bringing them up.
That is the story I will tell you if it will make you happy. But Orkira does land and explain things because she is not that kind of lift. She is an accessibility platform. So yeah, I think the Warforged is probably the only one she'll have trouble with.
So, well, the Warforged will be teleported up probably by the simulacrum of Avrin. You do have a really quick conversation with Ramble. Since you all have taken away my livelihood, I offer my services to whatever flying castle this is. Since it's flying, maybe we take some of the wood that's still left on the mountain. Perhaps we could add that to Storm Herald, and then then
You want to
the
install
Ra-
that?
We got a crew.
Bramble can perhaps be like a new bar, like a new place.
It's the
you
food
seem all like
court.
Are you interested in a flying bar?
I am
mean, who
interested in
isn't
not being on
interested in
the
that?
side of a mountain, and I don't have insurance, so I would love to be part of your crew.
Excellent.
Wait,
You're hired.
I demand some information from thee before we agree to this. Where were we before the circle of fire pulled us to this mountainside? Because I left mine griffin there, and I need to recover him.
Well, you don't know.
I drank quite a lot at thine establishment.
You are Taladas.
Gazoon tight.
Does anyone know where that is?
You know Kryn?
Oh.
Oh. Wait, maybe we could upgrade your griffin for a dragon.
There is
Ren
no
looks at you
upgrade
with
for
judgment that
Spiral.
he's learned from Griff.
You are able to clean up the rest of Storm Herald and get the rest of the goo and the dead bodies and just dumping it. Are you just dumping it on the side of the mountain?
Fire. Nope.
Fire.
Nope.
Lots of fire? Okay.
Everything's getting incinerated. I don't want to leave anything behind that's going to take root.
Yeah, we would take the time to go find the remaining intellect devourers that survived the 500-foot drop to make sure they didn't.
And
Really,
being perfectly
you are
serious,
You are, though, a bit nervous about where they went before the negative material plane. There is, like, you know how mind flayers operate.
Yeah. Okay.
Briv is going to try to get Spiral for sure before we start just jumping all over the plains, because we have a place he could live now. So,
Okay.
So I do want to make a note that I have no problem going to the Frostfell or the Prime Material Plane, and I have some concerns about the Astral Plane.
I also have a lot of concerns about Kryn, but that's for a completely different reason.
I never been
I've
there. I've
never
heard
been
it's
to
nice.
Kryn.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ended up there, to be quite honest.
At one point, did you end up getting swallowed by a bag that Averin had given you?
I think that happened several times, but I don't think this last time. No.
Oh, okay, because that's how I ended up there. But the astral plane is also, but everything I heard about that place it's bad.
Wait, that was Kryn? I thought that was just I never heard that was where that realm was. Good to know.
Weren't you there like a really long time?
6 years. With Harold.
Yeah.
Wow. And
Oh, Harold, I
Penelope
missed
as
that
well.
guy. Wait. You saw
was
Harold
something like
recently,
60
didn't you?
years.
Or Kira, did he get his leg fixed? Last time I saw him, he had a giant arm for a foot.
No, he got that fixed. He's got, actually, kind of like your arm, he found a place to get his leg fixed. Yeah. Yeah, so he's got like a mechanical leg. It's pretty cool.
Wait a second. What is this whole thing been a long con of Averin to like build a flesh golem out of his like warlock patrons by just getting bits and pieces of us one at a time?
I mean,
Yeah,
that really
I think
wouldn't
so. Sophia's told me
Most
before she
likely.
turned into a tree that Averin was collecting a whole bunch of arms in some kind of dumpster somewhere behind where they lived.
That
Yeah, we
fellow
found that
is
dumpster.
really, really weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
like
next time-
he's interesting.
Singular Gravens like behind you. That is true. He is the weirdest.
Yeah, next time I see him, I'm gonna yell at him. But one yelling at a time. So, are we going to the Astral Sea, or do we want to maybe start with something? I can't
Well,
believe
it
I'm
seems-
actually gonna say this, but do we want to start with the Frostfell instead?
Might
Well,
as well
but
get that out of the way.
We want to
Well, we have
start
to
with
pick up
Kryn.
Spyro. We have to
First, it
pick,
sounds
we have
like
to
we
pick
need to
up
go to
Spyro.
Kryn.
It's
Kryn first.
Spiral for me,
Pyro.
and I
Yeah.
feel as though thou dost know that.
I mean, I haven't seen that thing in years. I'm surprised it's still
That
alive,
thing?
to say the truth.
He haveth a name.
Shovel.
Spyro. Yes,
There you go.
got it. I'm clear on all of this.
Wait, are you talking about your mount? Were you with your mount at the time, Briv?
Spiral takes me everywhere, especially to places where I drink.
Well then I can just dimension door you.
Oh,
Dimension
well,
door
that would be
only
much
goes
easier than
500
bothering
feet,
everyone
though.
else.
Sorry, I didn't mean dimension door. I mean I can plane shift you with the cubic gate.
But I thought it was on this. Oh no, it's not this. Wait, isn't it on the prime material? I don't know.
It's
None of this
complicated.
makes sense to me. Yeah, just let me go. Let me know when we're ready.
Are you?
If thou dost want to simply open a gate, I can whistle. I've learned to do so over the years, and Spiral will come through the gate. He will always heed my call.
Oh, I might not be capable of that. You may have to teleport first.
Oh, very well. That's fine. Spiral is worth it.
Okay, do you teleport back?
Just
He's going
him
to
or-
get Spiral for sure. Yes.
Widdle, do you want to try to operate the building?
Widdle is currently at the malleable navigation pane, just kind of poking it, and she's looking up at these illithid spires that's emanating with small sparks of lightning. So it's just like bzz, 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 just testing it out. I think I got the hang of this now. Illithid engineering is quite interesting, and I got a lot to learn from it, but I think I can make this work.
All right. Let me know if you do the thing.
I'm assuming this is like taking several hours and we've cleaned out the
Yes.
everything and okay.
I think
So
Griff is, or
Briv
Grant is
maybe
probably
should have asked
watching.
this before he left, but can he get back after he teleports to where Spiral is?
I think we're trying to figure out how you're going. Is this
Oh,
Averin
I thought you were teleporting me, Snowflake.
We
Well,
figured out
one-
that
What?
Aren't thou madest of snow?
Yes, I am.
Briv, don't.
Don't
Widdle
what?
takes her little shot glass and scoops up Averin again with her, makes her own
Widdle.
little cocktail.
No.
Yep, it's snow. It's kind of bland.
He takes out the cubic gate and just disappears for a moment.
he has a second cubic gate, right? This is a
Yeah,
different one
yeah,
than the
he
one
does.
we had. Okay.
He just bamfs out of existence.
Hey, Widdle, is there a
Yeah.
place on Storm Herald that has like alchemical supplies and stuff so that we can fix him?
And then, bamf, there's a griffin in the control room.
Oh, Spiral.
Next to
Hello.
Averin the Simulacrum, and it is just trying to fly in the control room.
Spiral, calm down, calm down, calm down. Do not beat these folks with thine wings. Come this way. We will go back to the rookery. And Briv is trying to get him out of there.
Okay, yeah, you're able to like calm. There's a horse loose in the hospital. Yeah, you're able to get. You're able to get it out into the stable.
The horse has left the hospital.
Yes.
So how do these how do we teleport again? Or is it what you were describing as the malleable navigation
You were able
pane?
to figure it out. Like there are a couple of little tendrils that you like hit, like because this is some of this is mind flare technology that you can hit like rubber bands, and then they will take you somewhere. It's almost like connecting cords, and then ba-ding.
So I think Alyndra and Grant both have been watching intently how like figuring out this this control system as well. So in case Widdle can't fly, one of us can fly it as well.
Yeah, so Widdle looks over her shoulder at Alyndra and Griff, and she says, I think I got it figured out. There's a series of rubber bands here. So I'm just going to take this one, put it over here, and
if
wind
that's
it around
representative
this
of the
knob.
planar system,
And,
So,
there you go. We
if
should be
we're
going
heading
somewhere
to
soon.
the Frostfell, everyone should grab
Did
a
you
coat.
just connect a couple of cords just now?
Oh my god.
Yes, I did.
or not?
All right,
hope-
roll me a 1d6. Well, did you have an intention as to where to go?
I want to go to the icy place.
I'm gonna want my hat back.
Here you go.
You immediately, and I'll need a little bit more time than we've got here, if that's okay, if we can get a little extra time. You teleport instantly to the Frostfell. Storm Herald is filled with terrible cold immediately, and you see the Frostfell. You see these massive ice structures. It's beautiful in its desolation, but you see no signs of any mind flare activity of any kind.
Who did the
Guys.
installation on this fortress?
I mean, I did it a long time ago, but I think it ran out of its warranty when the mind flayers got here.
Orkira, you immediately need your fuzzy hat.
Yeah, fuzzy hat.
Yeah. So it is freezing, but as a cursory examination is, there's like you are surrounded by glaciers. None of them have been affected. There's like no damage. There's no signs of any mind flare hive.
I rolled a 3, by the way. I don't know for what yet, but that's what I got.
Okay.
Before we go any further, I guess we're already here. We've already gone pretty far. Do we want to try to rest a little bit?
Yes, please.
Fix up the. Yeah.
I think
yes,
it is
please.
time to call it a night. Yes.
Yeah. Widdle, can you show me and Averin where the alchemical place is, and I'll give you some diamond dust, and maybe we can fix the giant hole in your stomach.
I would love to show you the alchemical place. Let me see if I can remember where to find it. Yeah, I think it's just down this hallway of veins. Starts plucking out the veins from the wall. We get rid of these. Yep, right this way.
Okay.
I don't know which
Can
one of these rooms is mine, but I want the top bunk in it.
You get the
we
whole
have our own
room.
rooms, right?
You have your own room, but you still have a bunk bed, so you can have the top bunk.
I mean, I might have somebody over. You never know. But yes, I still want the top bunk.
I love
yes.
the idea
Freely
that
and Griff can have a
Freely's top
sleepover.
bunk is like 6 feet off the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It is. Well, it's
Maybe
very
4
low.
feet off the ground.
Hey,
Briv
it's still
puts
very
all of
tall.
his stuff in his room, and then he comes into Freely's room and sleeps in the bottom bunk.
Can I go see if the library has any books about the Frostfell?
Yeah, it does actually. You take Averin aside, I assume, Orkira, and you're performing some kind of medicine check. You do find a lot. You've been to the Frostfell before. Judging by some of the writings from the Lithids, they were just going for a test run.
So they didn't actually do anything here.
No, it does not appear that they did.
This was not the place.
Hmm.
I will go around and let everyone know.
You find me just holding a bunch of diamond dust and looking at Averin going, I don't know how to fix this. I just remember being that and knowing that you need this. Because I got a 12.
Right. Let me. Well, do you have a mirror? I can walk you through most of the process, if that's okay.
Is he gonna operate on himself? That's intense.
No, it's fine. I'm okay.
You're so much better than the real Averin. Do you know that? Like, so much better.
Well, we're going to fix things right now. I mean, show me what I got to do, and we'll do what we got to do.
He does seem nicer.
Well,
Kind of sorry that I shot you.
we will need a bit of water. We will need
I've
3
got
of
that
those
for you.
vials over there. No,
Nope, Briv,
please.
Briv.
Nope.
It's already too late.
It has
He
to be
is sick.
sanitized.
Oh,
And some stitches. So I'm going to need some thread and some needles as well.
I'm
Wait,
sure I've got.
Does mending work on you? Because I might be able to just like knock that out for you, buddy.
I am made out of shadow and ice. No, mending doesn't work for me. But
Snowball,
stitching does.
like I
it's
said.
like one shouldn't just assume it. Okay, all right, okay.
I will cast Create Food and Water because I did have it prepared. Because when you're hanging out in the elemental plane of fire, there's no food. So, as Briv goes to spit, a large pallet of very familiar lobster-flavored hardtack appears in front of him, and a bucket of water. And the spit doesn't make it, but it slams up against the hardtack. And I go, "Nope, Briv, nope." And I will
create food block.
create waist-high chest wall, and I will hand the water over to Averin, and I'm sure I've got medical supplies. So if he's
Okay.
looking for that, I can help. That I can help with.
After about an hour, you were able to stitch up the simulacrum.
Well, you look better. Does it feel better?
I do. I'm not entirely sure I feel, but the hole is gone, and I am not limping. So that's nice. That's very kind of you. Not necessary, but I appreciate it.
Well, it was necessary. You were hurt the same way I would do this for anybody. So there you go.
I am not anybody.
thou art useful, though.
You are somebody. Just because you were made out of something and in someone else's likeness doesn't mean you're not somebody.
I think it would be best if I began to patrol Storm Herald. I appreciate your kind words. And thank you
Farewell.
for your time for preparing me. I appreciate it.
Okay, if you need help, you can ask and I'll come out into the freezing cold and patrol with you.
We don't need to stay in the freezing cold.
Snowball is fine.
The cold doesn't
Briv.
really bother me anyways. So
This was not the place.
Well, but they also won't come looking for us here, so it's probably fine to stay here just long enough to at least sleep first.
Fair.
Because if we jump again and we do find them, you know, it's kind of going to go where it goes, so.
True.
Everyone can get a long rest. You can clean up all of Storm Herald. The healing is no longer being sapped into the giant darkness void.
Yay.
And you can start making repairs and get your rooms back in order finally. The bar is being reconstructed by Ramble Bramble. Gentle George is kind of like repairing some of the ballistas that are on Storm Herald, being a former warrior, specifically being built for war. Oscar is still asleep. We're not quite sure how Oscar's doing. What's that, Penelope Half-Pint?
And Penelope would like to spend 8 hours casting plant growth, where starting in the courtyard where that dead tree is, and just flourishing this entire place with plants and vines and flowers.
Oh, very nice.
Beautiful garden.
And it shall
And-
last for a year.
Where the tree was, it rots away, and a single sapling pokes its way through the dirt and through the rot. All right, are we going anywhere else? Are we pressing any buttons?
Before we go, after Penelope does that, I'm going to take some time after my long rest, and I'm going to prepare Hello. I'm going to Hello this place.
Aw,
Okay.
It's such a nice vibe now.
It takes all day. So Penelope, you're doing your thing, and I'm just hardcore praying to the Phoenix, like, and that rock, and that rock, and that building, and because and after 24 hours, I have hallowed this place.
After 24 hours, all of Storm Herald has been hallowed. It is filled with a celestial radiance. Penelope Half-Pint has grown, like, there's now grass again on the lawn of Storm Herald, and there are flowers and bushes growing, and the tree is now growing in the center of the building.
I'd like to start making Mordenkainen's private sanctum and begin that process so that hopefully after a year we have a permanent safe place. I believe I had started it previously.
like you have a room and you put a private sanctum in the room, like, yo dog, yo, I heard you like comfy rooms.
Ramble has already started making his own mead. he's just like looking around at different areas, like, oh, that looks like that can be booze in a while.
Widdle takes whatever he's already created and looks at Penelope and says, "It warms my undead heart to see this place flourishing with life again. I'm so glad that you're all here to make this a safe flying city once more."
And you guys wanted to crash it.
I still kind of do.
I'm statistically speaking, we're going to eventually.
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably.
Very likely.
Absolutely true.
The end.
We won! We won D&D! Thank you, everybody! Good night!
That's the end of the game. No. So,
And they were
do you need
never
to know
heard
that the
from
Dungeon
again.
Master is a button pressed.
No, we were living
And
happily
which
ever
one?
after. I thought that was what we were doing.
No,
What button?
What buttons are we
it's
talking
up
about?
to you.
Which place are we going to?
Yeah, is that what you're asking? Is where
Yes,
are we
I
headed
am.
next?
Yes.
Okay, so our options were the negative material plane,
No.
That's
prime
true.
That's off
material,
the list, yeah.
the prime material, the astral, or the Ouroboros. I mean,
I vote for the Ouroboros.
The prime,
that,
yeah, if this has been your life's work, let's just jump ahead. Sure, why
I'm
not?
curious. I'd like to know what it is. Is there anything in the library that indicates it at all?
No. You do know that previously Avon had a lot of material on that subject, but it is all like locked up books.
Just although Alyndra, if we get there and it's nothing but just like a giant snake biting its tail, you owe me 5 gold.
Did you say there's a bunch of locked up books?
No,
Not
her
here.
in her memory, she knew
Oh.
that Avon knew a bunch about it.
I will take some time, not now, but between sessions, to talk to Avon about what he knows, because the simulacrum would know what Avon knows. So
No, it does not. Simulacrums do not show the knowledge.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Let
they
us
can
just
cast the spells and do all the abilities to a limited degree, but they don't necessarily retain the same knowledge.
let us go to the snake place.
Yep, we're gonna see a big old snake eating its tail.
All right,
I suppose we're off then.
all right, Widdle, what are you doing? I assume you're piloting.
Widdle smacks the Ouroboros button.
Also, for the record, it's clone that gives you the exact you. Simulacrum gives you like a version of you. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you smack and Alyndra, you are getting a very strange vibe that you are actually finally arriving in this location after years and years of research, coming from the very, very first episode way back for you. And you connect the two chords, Widdle, and you hit the button. And all Storm Herald just bamfs out of existence, out of the Frostfell, and snow just swirls in a tornado and a hurricane where Storm Herald once was. And you appear above a very large watery inlet, high cliffs, in a beautiful location, and you see a massive golden city in the distance. And you see floating ships of some kind. And immediately, someone appears on the deck of Storm Herald within seconds. And you just hear loud thumps from above.
I'll head up there. Either we're boarded or having visitors. One of the two.
As you
Widdle
go up,
immediately has her hand on her blunderbuss.
you go up the stairs, you leave the control room, and there are about 40 soldiers, all in armor, all with swords and spears, all in the courtyard of Storm Herald, waiting for you to come out.
Hi.
Why are you here?
We took over this place from a bunch of really nasty mind flayers, and we're trying to find where they were to fix any damage.
And
We
you-
are here to help.
We don't require your help, and this place is forbidden.
I'm here to see the snake that's eating its tail. And a minor illusion, this is the Ouroboros. We're here about this.
Yeah, I don't think you should probably be trying to talk to that. I think you're out of your depth. Welcome to Asgard.
Ah.
And that's our
Okay.
adventure, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much. B. Dave Walters playing Freely, Orkira Ildrex playing...
Playing Lauren Urban, sure, why not?
Urban.
I'm okay with that.
Half-Pint's being played by Hope LaVelle. We got Adam Bradford playing Briv Steelmarrow. We've got Alyndra Sarrbarand being played by Jen Kretchmer. We've got Widdle being played by my wife, Meagan Kenreck. And I am Todd Kenreck, being played by a simulacrum. Thank you so much for watching. Do we have any announcements before we bamf out?
No, I think we're all good, but join us here next week again for Snakes on the Plains, which was the best comment that I saw in chat all night. Well done out there. We'll see everybody later. Later, Gators.
Bye, everyone.